Hey everybody, it's Heiden, and I'm back with the Hellsen versus Heiden campaign. This is scenario 2 of War in the Pacific, Admiral's Edition. This is the 4th of January combat replay. I think this is where we find out if my carriers hit his. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Is today going to be Doomsday or just another day at the office? We'll find out. Alright, looks like he grabs a dot base, Vela La Vela, in the Solomon Islands chain. And he's landing or continuing a landing there on northern Sumatra. Okay, no night bombing so far. Haven't seen that in a while in this campaign. Okay, got some coast watchers now that the daylight's out. Ooh. Oh, man. All right, K8 took a shot at a Japanese destroyer. Let's see if it can ride this out now. We're in deep water here, so we should be okay. At least I know that where I put that sub was, you know, good. Ah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Well, looks like the pattern of me having out horrible luck with my subs is continuing. Okay, so obviously this is not a good outcome at all. I have the worst luck with submarines in both campaigns. I hope all allied players suffer as miserably as I have with these. All right, got some Catalinas up right now spotting stuff. Okay, we're back to Clark Field doing the daily bombing run there. He's just trying to keep us from building up forts, and with this level of damage, he'll do it. Okay, he's sweeping over Bandung in case we were going to put up any fighter opposition to an impending bombing strike. And I fully expect heavy concentration of bombing all up and down this road here. This will be a heavy casualty day. This is clear terrain here. And there you go. That's pretty much what I expected with that. Alright. Bombing Bandung. Attempting to target us from building up. And now he's reaching 2 hexes north. This is actually one of our defense grids. This train's a bit better and should shield us from bombing attacks. This grid, this hex, will take heavy casualties in this. Yep, it's clear. And he's got good weather. All right. Okay, he's bombing these guys trying to get into hand cow. Another sweep over Bandung. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Looks like a sweep over Sion in the afternoon. Yeah, he's trying to slow us down getting in here. Same spot as earlier in the day. Good casualties despite the severe storm. There's quite clear terrain on this hex. Another attack on Sion. These are going to get costly. All this is expected here. Alright, looks like he's sending some guys over at Lashio. Yep, expecting him to target the airfield here. A few hits to the base, that won't really do anything. Very interesting. I was expecting something to happen, and it didn't. And I really need to look at that and find out what happened there. What happened? Watch, this one tank regiment is gonna completely massacre these guys. Ready? You ready? Yeah, what a joke, right? They're basically impervious to any kind of damage. I'm even surprised he took any casualties at all. That's shocking. This, not surprising. Okay, this also not surprising at all. And now we see what he's got here. 4 full divisions and a mixed infantry brigade. We're going to have a heck of a time up here. He's bringing a lot of troops this way. And again, I didn't expect to hold here at all. This was a delaying action. So the Japanese take basically no casualties and we take a ton. Because that's just how this game is, right? And a bombardment attack at Bandung. Quite honestly, I don't think he has any intention of attacking here for weeks. He's just going to keep doing this until we're out of supply. But we actually get the better of this exchange for this turn. That's something good. And a bombardment attack at Clark. We've been trading pretty evenly here. And again, more or less an even trade. That's cool. And in this one, he'll grab it for free. We're not even there. Another base for him. Let me see if I can say this. Tanjung Balai. And a shock attack here. This is completely unnecessary. He doesn't need to shock attack, but he's doing it just to try to annihilate this unit. And he did. He wanted to really put an exclamation point on this attack. And there it is. Wheat and Zorg, these guys are going to probably surrender. This is left over from Batavia. We had no chance to get back into Bandung. Oh. Wow, they made it. Can you believe that? I didn't think these guys stood a chance. Huh. I mean, I can't imagine they have much of anything left in that unit, but they survived that. Let's see, what did he attack us with? 18th full division, okay. And then another tank regiment attacking here. This should be a blowout. There it is. He's rapidly cleaning things up on Malaya, much faster than Lodric did. Wow. And this should be a victory. Wow, Surabaya already. What is this, January 4th? Dang, look at that.
Hello, my misguided friends. This is your number one enemy, Orphan Anne, from Radio Tokyo. That took a blow to your morale and some music to console you. Today, the Imperial government announced that the
I thought I got these guys out of there. Guess not.
Have captured Surabaya.
There it is, guys. That's it. No more Surabaya. It's over there. January 4th, and he's got it. Man, I'm taking notes for when I play Japan. When I play Japan, I want to do on Java what he did here. Impressive. Another attack. All right, so now he's landing at Beaufort. It's undefended by us. What a good turn for him. And Jesseltrin, this unit is useless. It's gonna instantly cave. Well, there it is. Another base he captured. Man, you can bet that the score is swapped now. So stuff that happened on the ground, not entirely unexpected, but I'm very curious as to what became of our carriers out in the Pacific. There was not even a mention of anything. And he did not press the attack on those other ships, so where did he go? A little surprising. All right, I'm getting some more ships on the map here. This should be close to the end of the turn. There it is. I have a lot of questions here. Well, it's a good thing we didn't have any contact with the Japanese carriers this turn, because it would have been really bad. And I'll show you why in a little bit. But let's first take a look at the intelligence report. So aircraft losses this turn. Not a great day for us. 13-2. The reason that we lost so many aircraft was these L-212s were stuck in Surabaya when he took the base. I thought I could get one more bombing mission out before he got in there, but they didn't fly at all. So I lost them all on the ground. The Japanese lost 2 Babs. These are recon planes. It also appears that we lost 1 SBD, a P-40, and a Dornier 24 float plane. Lost pilots, 1 MIA out of all that. That's not too bad. Taking a look at pilot replacements. We can see here wounded pilots. We have 2 that are currently in the group pool that are coming back in January. For the reserve, quite a bit of wounded pilots. However, we are getting almost all of them back at this time. Well, at least the top half of this list, right? Further down, there's a lot of other wounded pilots that are not coming back. The Army lost points for this turn were not good. We lost 102 points. The Japanese lost 1. You gotta love this disparity, right? I think Gary Grigsby designed this game so that the Japanese could get it far ahead in the first year by basically making the retreat mechanic just punish the losing side so bad and the winning side hardly at all. Whatever. Ship sunk this last turn. Again, not a good day. Because we lost Surabaya so quickly, we lost the 01, 21, 23, and 24, as well as the Sumatra. These are 4 ships that I could have happily used for my campaign. These are good subs. And because they spawn at Surabaya, they're basically destroyed before we ever get a chance to get them, and that really sucks. So he gets the points for these. I don't get the ships. Yeah, not good. So for this turn, this was really garbage. We lost 229 points to the Japanese, and the ratio has now switched in favor of the Japanese, 1.02 to 1. So we no longer have a lead. The Japanese are winning. Well, they were winning from the start, but now they're officially winning. All right, so I took a look at the combat report, and one thing I wanted to take a look at was the K8, which was jacked up by these destroyers last turn. And that's over right here. So as you can see, the K8 was heavily damaged. However, I don't think it's going to sink. We don't have any fire. The system damage is pretty low. I'm pretty sure we can save this sub. So I'm going to route it to wherever I can get it to get some emergency repairs done. Once we get it patched up enough, we can keep it going down to either Perth or Brisbane for permanent repair. Okay, so the SIGINT, we can take a look at that. What I thought was interesting was we see reports that a Manziu AO class AO was at Rabaul. That's pretty cool when you get that level of specificity in your report telling you exactly what type of ship is where. And then the other thing I noticed was here. Check this out. A Bandistan S on the left is loaded on an AK Ryu Nissan Maru moving to Kolaka. Check this out. Kolaka is my base. So now we know for a fact that he's moving ships to Kolaka, presumably to invade it. I think it's pretty cool that we know that. Now we can take this sub, for example, and any other sub that we have in the area, and put and pack the waters here to see if we can intercept these guys coming in ahead of time. I like that the SIGINT gave me that kind of heads up that he's on the way. Now, why would he want to take Kolaka? Probably to cut off retreat path for these guys, or at least block the supply flow, because you can move supply between Makassar and Kendari pretty easily. Look at this. Let me show you. See? Supply will get from here to there and back, despite the break in the road. That's not going to stop it. So if he takes this base, it'll really make it harder to move the supply back and forth to kind of lock it into one location or the other. Alright. Looking at the ops report, I think the only thing that I noticed that was noteworthy was the fact that we have a couple ships at Perth that have been repaired. I'll show you that real quick. So I had some Dutch ships down here. Let's take a look at this. The Java was there, and I believe the Van Ness was the other one that got repaired. So now I have all these Dutch ships that are fixed up and ready to get back into combat. Although I don't know where I'm going to employ them, because I definitely don't want to take them back to the Dutch East Indies. It's just too dangerous over there with that carrier task force floating around. So we'll have to figure out how best to employ these guys going forward. Okay, let's talk about the situation, because this turn was no good. Starting in China, we have a lot of problems here. So he's basically 1 hex away from taking Sion. So it's a mad rush to get our troops out of there as quickly as possible. Most of them will get out okay, but he's just moving so quickly. Also, he's blocked the road here, which basically blocks all of these troops from getting out down this road. And we're talking about maybe 600 AV or so worth of Chinese troops here that I really need. So now we're going to have to go off-roading, and that's going to take forever to get these troops evacuated from this part of China. We're looking at least a month or two to get all these troops out of here and back onto a road that we can use, because we can no longer come down to Sion. He's already blocked it off. He's moving so fast. Additionally, we see that this unit here, I presume this is the armor. It is moving so quickly, and they only have 2 more hexes till they get to Ankang. And when they get to Ankang, they'll take it easily, because we have hardly any kind of fortification here, and these troops aren't very good. So it's a mad rush for me to get my troops into these hexes to block it off quickly, because if he gets here, it's all over. Down here in this part of China, I am trying to do something a little sneaky here. I'm moving these guys into Hankow, and the reason I'm doing that is I want to get them into this urban heavy hex. That's ×4 terrain, and I can take advantage of it just as much as he can. So if I get in there, he'll have to dislodge us from that base, and he'll have to attack into ×4 terrain. I'm not saying it'll go well, but it may cause him some casualties. Taking a look at Burma and Thailand, he's firmly in Pegu, and he'll be in Rangoon within 1 to 2 turns. And then the Burma road is now officially cut, and there'll be no more supply going into China. He's done this very quickly. He's moved faster than I could have moved to get troops in here. Now, I could have probably risked getting a convoy in here, because I know he's got aircraft at Bangkok covering the route. To me, it seemed too risky. And I know he's probably got subs down here too, so I decided to let Burma go in this campaign and try to fight further north. I don't know if it's the right decision or not, but I didn't see any better way to get troops here in time. We had big losses at all over Malaysia. That's where a lot of our loss points came from, getting blown out in multiple different hexes. We also lost Tanjung Balai, which is going to get him a straight shot towards Medan, which has quite a bit of oil in it. You already know about Palembang. Over here in Java, he just took Buitenzorg, and the big one, which is a huge blow to me, is the loss of Surabaya. That's also where he lost the aircraft, and he hasn't wasted any time moving aircraft into this base. Losing Surabaya so early on, January 5th, is such a big blow to me. I wonder in hindsight if it would have been better for me to put all these troops here in Surabaya and try to hold off as long as possible to try to get those ships. I don't even know if it's possible. If the Japanese bring all these divisions to Surabaya, there's no way we can hold, because the terrain is garbage. It's clear terrain. So you're relying strictly on the fortification level of the base, which isn't going to get higher than 3 or 4. And I don't think that's enough to hold off the Japanese ground forces. So I don't know how to defend Surabaya properly against a determined opponent like this. But to lose it in January is just a huge blow. On North Borneo, we lost Beaufort and Jesselton. These don't figure to last, but losing both in the same turn is just, it's not good. In the Philippines, he's just slowly wearing us down at Clark Field. The base is heavily damaged, so we can no longer build forts. So it's just a war of attrition now. And he's just going to slowly bleed us out of supplies until it's too late. So obviously we already talked about the K-8. We have these Japanese aircraft carriers and surface ships just floating around in a band of sea, just kind of keeping us pinned down all through here, so we can't move ships around or do much of anything else. And we do know he's got ships moving to Kolaka, so I would assume these guys are here to cover that now. Kolaka/Kandari invasion attempt. Nothing really happening over on this side. Nothing happening in the South Pacific over here, at least. Pretty quiet on Port Moresby for now, but we do see quite a bit of ships forming up at Rabaul. I don't know if he's bringing stuff in or picking stuff up to go somewhere else, but he has quite a bit of ships here. It's starting to make me wonder if we need to start paying attention to this area a little bit more. I'll talk about that here in just a second. And here's the second. So here's the here's my carrier attack, and let me tell you, I am so glad we did not run into the Japanese this turn, because we would have been so badly mauled. All my plans, my intricate plans from the live stream that I did setting up this turn went out the window. Check this out. Do you see these green boxes here? This is where my ships were supposed to have been. So I estimated that his carriers would be somewhere around here, and we would have reacted to attack. But my fuel situation was so bad These guys had to slow down to refuel, and in doing so, they used up their ops points, so they did not get to the last leg of their assignment. These guys, for whatever reason, also did not make it to their assigned location, even though the math showed that they had enough fuel to do it. The carriers came up 3 hexes short. So none of my ships got into the position that I wanted them in to intercept the Japanese carriers, assuming they had come down. So we would have been caught with our pants down, out of range, unable to react, and just sitting out here getting blasted. So, yeah, it would have been really bad. But the Japanese have turned and left. We no longer really have any spotting. Right? None of our ships are spotted here. Everything did get away. So I think at this point, my estimation is that the Japanese coming from Baker and Canton full sped down here and now got themselves into a situation where they don't have enough fuel to press down further. So they're probably somewhere around here, is my guess, and they are retreating back towards their supply lines, which I estimate to be around Baker Island. I think he's probably got some AOs over here, so he's going to move his carriers back this way to refuel, and we're just never going to have this meetup. But you know what? Maybe it's a good thing, because now that these guys have all been spared, what I'm going to do is send them down to Caroline, refuel from these AOs, recombine this task force, and then send it back up to Pearl. And at Pearl, we're going to meet up with the Yorktown, which is setting sail this turn. We're going to bring them down to Pearl. We're going to get all these guys patched up, combine them into one larger task force. I'm going to patch all these guys up, right? And then we're going to set off on our next mission. And I've already kind of been thinking about it. I don't really want to talk about it right now because I feel like my OPSEC has been a little bad lately, especially in the Lodric game. I've been having a lot of issues with Lodric reading my turn. Well, let me rephrase that. Seeming to understand what I'm doing well in advance and beating me to the punch. And I'm not saying he's watching my videos, but I think I've been a little more loose-lipped than I should be about what I'm doing. So, why am I looking over here? Let me look over here. I have a plan for my carriers now, and I want to go for a strike, a big strike. I'm not going to go hunting his carriers, but I'm going to hit him where it hurts. So, I don't really want to talk about that operation, but I will go ahead and show you how things are going up until the point where we actually leave. So, I will keep you guys apprised of how these guys are doing, because we have a couple days sailing to get to Caroline, fuel up, head up to Pearl, meet up with the Yorktown, patch all the ships up, refuel them, reorganize, and head out again. So I'll keep you apprised of how that's going. But once we get that task force ready to sail, I will no longer be discussing where they're at and where they're going until it's time for the big operation. So I will say this. I am getting allied player fatigue right now, big time, because I'm playing 2 allied campaigns, early war, and it's just a lot of loss. It's hard to keep opening up a turn and getting your butt kicked every single turn. There's just no end to it, and it's hard. It's hard to stay motivated to come in here and watch me get my butt kicked by Lodric and Hellsen and keep wanting to keep playing it. But I'm going to keep playing it because I've committed to do that. Yeah. So I'm going to keep playing. And I have a new plan which I think will be really good. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.